Chapter 13, Finding Balance. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. The Bible, Ecclesiastes 3. Lady Isobel Barnett, the wife of Leicester's Lord Mayor, was highly successful and well respected. One day, she went to a department store to pick up a few things. She stole a tin of tuna and a carton of cream. She did this because she had an irrepressible urge to take away things without permission. She could not resist stealing and was caught on camera. Next day, the act became big news. She was painted black overnight. The humiliation faced was awful. Out of shame, she committed suicide. For a woman like her, stealing such petty things was unimaginable, but she stole because her negative conditioning overtook her ethical behavior. She was neither ignorant nor innocent. She was fully aware of her actions. She knew what she was doing was wrong. In medical terms, this irrepressible desire to steal is called kleptomania. But in my opinion, it is negative conditioning of the subconscious mind. We acquire false perceptions and, if not corrected during the formative years, they become habitual. Lady Barnett was respected and prosperous, and yet she committed suicide out of guilt. It was certainly an extreme act. She lost her balance. Giving in to impulses may appear easy, but striking a balance is difficult. In today's time, we all seem to be running fast, at times too fast. Amid the countless social streams, we get pulled away from our center. We need to find our center again. How? By striking a balance. Striking a balance. If we fall while walking on grass, nothing happens. But if we fall from a 20-storied building while walking on a tightrope, the game is over. Which means the higher we go in life, the greater is the responsibility, and the tougher it is to maintain balance. One must maintain equilibrium. The higher we move in life, the more careful we need to be. There are three kinds of people in this world. First, the ones with jawbones. They are talkers and not doers. They talk endlessly, at times foolishly, and do nothing productive. Most of their talk is negative and pulls down people. Second, the ones with wishbones. They are dreamers but not doers. These people always wish that others do their work. They keep passing the buck. They always keep wishing for things to happen but never make things happen themselves. Third, the ones with backbones. They are doers and action oriented. They have the guts to take calculated risks. They are the ones who make things happen while maintaining a balance. We need to strike a balance between family and friends, home and work, earning and spending, even sugar levels in our bodies. Both too much or too little are harmful. If we have two children, we have to strike balance between both. Even if we go on a holiday, we have to have a balance. Finding a balance between intangibles in life is easy, but finding a balance between the following can be tricky and delicate: emotions and logic, relations and commitments, gentleness and strength. These are things that we do not learn in schools and colleges out of academic books. Laws of emotion are not like the laws of gravity. They aren't standard across the world. 1 plus 1 may not always be 2 in the laws of emotion. It can vary from 3, 4, 5, and 10, or even go into the negative. While talking of emotions, digits can ebb and flow, or we can say increase or decrease. That's why we need to strike a balance with respect to our family, work, society, emotions, and relations. Our health depends on the balance of our body. A building needs balance to stand firmly. Balance in life is very important. We need to strike a balance between our aspiration and inspiration. Sometimes people become overambitious and self destruct. In fact, without balance in the cosmos, everything will self destruct. You can understand this by looking at our solar system. The Earth keeps rotating on its own axis, due to which we have 24 hours, a day and a night. If the speed of rotation changes by even a fraction, things would go topsy-turvy. We would not have days and nights then, but disasters and nightmares. Balance in nature keeps us functioning properly. Look at the ecological balance. When glaciers melt due to global warming, floods bring disaster by submerging countries and drowning people. Insight is more important than eyesight. When we get stuck in traffic, we lose our cool. Who is controlling us? Our mind is. But its balance is shaken. When the weather changes outside, we get disturbed internally and emotionally. Our balance is disturbed. We see things around us but often forget things inside us. We are living in a world of remote controls. When a person cuts across our car foolishly and we get mad and become emotionally imbalanced, who has the remote? The other person has it. If similar things happen 20 times a day, then 20 times we hand over our remote control to somebody else. We go to buy something and the cashier messes up at the shop. We get mad. We give our remote control to the cashier. If we have to wait for a few extra minutes, we get mad and give out one more remote control. Our laundryman messes up our trousers. We get mad and give another remote control to the laundryman. We go to a get-together and somebody says they do not like us, and we pass on another remote control to them. The above examples are laws of mental imbalance. The moral is very clear. They are all real-life issues, and we cannot live in denial. But we must not keep handing over our remote controls to other people. We cannot allow others to operate on us or influence us to the extent that we lose our control over ourselves disruptively. We shouldn't allow life to let us drift. We need to become a general of our own army. If we want to test our mental strength, we should count how many times in a day do we get emotionally disturbed, how many things disturb us every day, what are the kind of things that disturb us every day. The more such things disturb us, the greater number of times we hand over our remote controls and grow weaker. This just means that we need to be self-aware and in control of our mental and emotional balance. Not only do we have to be a careful driver, but we also have to be careful and protect ourselves from careless drivers. We do not drink and drive, but we definitely have to protect ourselves from drunk drivers. That's how we save ourselves from emotional pulls. Out of syllabus. Not all imbalances in life are self generated. Many times, students complain of out of syllabus questions in examinations. When students keep complaining about such things, they actually imply that they have the right to fail. Remember, in life, many situations arise that are out of syllabus in the real world. We have to be guided by a moral compass, which has nothing to do with the syllabus. Once we clear our academic education, we have to go through life dealing with everything out of syllabus. When we get married, do we have a checklist or a syllabus? Obviously not. When we get married, the extended family comes along with the union. Many times we need and possibly even want to interact with them. Do they come with a syllabus? Which syllabus can one work with? None. By and large, we find that it is only the person who is not prepared is the one who complains of the questions being out of syllabus. Sometimes, even with the best balance, things may still go wrong and we may be put to test. After a hectic day at work, you go home and find something wrong with your neighbor. You see, he has left his overflowing trash can open right in front of your main door. The foul smell is unbearable, and in addition, it has already started inviting flies and insects. A test of balance may be waiting for you. What do? Do you knock off his head off or think about a scenario that solves the problem of foul smell and infection without meddling with your inner peace? The appropriate way is to politely make your neighbor aware of the risks both the families are exposed to. The second way is to just call up the authority at the building and let them address the situation instead of you running into a heated argument with your neighbor. Now let's take it a step further. What if the authorities fail to remedy the situation? There could be many more multiple what ifs that still may be beyond our control. What do you do then? Eventually, it all boils down to should we maintain a balance or should we lose our cool? Maintaining balance puts us in charge. We are in control no matter what, and our decision making ability is a lot better. Whereas if we lose our cool, we become emotionally disturbed and our decision making ability gets distorted. No matter what the situation in life is, the key is to maintain internal balance. To achieve more not only requires presence of balance but also overcoming imbalance. Life is a matter of stability and balance. All great achievements of our life depend on the health of our minds. There is a story of a wealthy person who has hundreds of acres of land, a huge mansion, and rare collectibles from around the world. One day he called a spiritual teacher and started showing him around his beautiful huge mansion. After he almost finished showing around the mansion, he took the teacher to the last room where there was a young boy locked in a cage. The teacher was rather shocked and in surprise. He asked the rich man, "Why have you put this boy in this cage like a wild animal? Who is he?" The rich man replied, "He is my only son and the heir to everything I own in this world, but is mentally unstable. We have given him the best medical aid in the world, but to no avail." The teacher said, "But he's your only son." The rich man said, "I know it, but he doesn't know he's my only son." Then the teacher pointed out an observation he had made. "The help is enjoying all the wealth of this home, much more than your hire. This brings us to understand that the strength of mind is more crucial than wealth and riches. Stability of mind is more important than education, wealth, or even status. Let's look at another example. Margaret Thatcher was considered to be the Iron Lady. She was highly respected. When she spoke, the world listened. That was the strength of this lady. This was her power. But unfortunately, before she died, she was suffering from Parkinson's disease. She couldn't meet or recognize anybody. She didn't know what she said or to whom. She had lost her mental stability. The once Prime Minister of the UK, the most powerful lady, became a nobody since she lost the stability of her mind. It would not be out of line to say that US is the most affluent and powerful country in the world, and that the most powerful person in the world is its president. Yet, according to the American Constitution, if it can be proven by an appropriate body that the President of the US is mentally ill or unstable, he can be removed. Stability of mind is the most powerful quality of any person in the world, regardless of position and education. When the most powerful people in the world need stability, don't we all need it too? Plato rightly said, self-conquest is the greatest of victories. Are we victims of public success and private failure? A man went to a psychiatrist and said, I have a suicidal tendency. I always feel depressed. I don't want to live. I want to commit suicide. The doctor checked him out and conducted all the tests and said, I can't find anything wrong with you. I can make you a suggestion. Take it as a prescription. There is a circus going on in town. Why don't you go there twice a day? I'm sure you will really enjoy yourself and have a good time, as they have a clown who makes you laugh hysterically. He is really funny and has a great sense of humor. You will come out laughing and feel on top of the world. Whenever I feel low, I go there too, just to laugh and come back in high spirits. The man replied, Doctor, I have a different problem. I am that clown. This is a prime example of achieving success publicly but failing privately, and it is called public success but private failure. Dr. John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, has helped many families from breaking down and has brought them together. But unfortunately, he himself got divorced. Here was a person who was teaching and preaching about maintaining positive relationships that he himself could not sustain. We are not pointing a finger here, but just bringing out a contradiction. Again, an example of public success and private failure. Many times we fall into the trap of maintaining a lifestyle which gives us public success but private failure. That's why it is crucial to probe inwards and know yourself. Many scriptures say the same thing. We must master the world inside before we master the world outside. When internal contentment is missing, external success means nothing. Success is an experience. It is a feeling. We cannot make anyone feel successful. The feeling must come from within. That is why many times what appears to be success externally may be total emptiness internally. Success without fulfillment is empty. It's like good looks without goodness. We must have substance over form, not form over substance. Private success, public failure. Most people know of the Wright brothers who invented the aircraft. As per Wikipedia, however, what most people don't know is that the aircraft was actually invented before the Wright brothers by Dr. Stephen Langley, and it took its first successful flight in 1896. Most people were skeptical post its meeting with an accident on 8 December 1903. Langley, probably disheartened, dumped his machine in the warehouse. He died heartbroken. Only a few days later, the Wright brothers made their first successful flight on the 17th December 1903. The tragic part was that the very flying machine Dr. Langley had made and dumped was flown by Mr. Curtis successfully in 1914. Unfortunately, Dr. Langley could never achieve public success. So, it is clear from these instances that a balance needs to be maintained to enjoy both public and private success. We keep looking to take charge of the external world while many a times forgetting to control the inner world. The inner world is more important than the outer world. We see things not the way they are, but the way we are. It is well said that the greatest mistake is of the one who sees everything around him but forgets to look inside himself. Let's ponder over a question. What is our typical concept of success? Maybe we want to be the chairperson, the country head, or the CEO of a multi-million-dollar organization. Take a look at the example of Buddha, who was born a prince and had a great kingdom. He had everything in the world but eventually left it all, winning everyone's heart around the world. Today, how many people have the amount of influence that Buddha has? Hardly any. He inquired into his inner world to get answers. He made his own discoveries. All of us don't have to be the Buddha, nor can we become the Buddha. However, we have got to preserve balance, cultivate mental peace, and then aim for worldly success. That is what can bring us inner happiness. People say we cannot change the world, but who says that we cannot change ourselves? We keep looking for the path to happiness, not realizing that happiness is the path. Achievers maintain a balance between what they can do and what they cannot do. They live between fate and free will.